It's Wednesday night and you're bored as shit. You've got nothing better to do, and you love your rugby league. So it's time to get online for League of Inches.
I'll tell you what, if you're bored as shit on this week leading into Magic Round, you're not doing it right, because we're already canning on here at League of Inches. We are ready to go. It's the pre-drinks for Magic Round. We've decided to call this show. It's going to be a bit of fun, bit of footy talk as well, but everything else in between. So really keen for this one. Couple of news on the podcast as well. You started to see with the get to know you posts and things like that also. So see how we go. Getting everyone involved. There might be another one that pops up as we're talking. So just putting the kids asleep at the moment. But first of all, Ryan Stewart, I know him personally as Goosey. I can't say his proper name. It's Goosey. Happy birthday, brother. I know it's your birthday today. So what's your turn? 16?
No, 18 this year actually, but thank you though. Thank you. Finally can drink.
That's right. Yeah. Don't worry, that'll come up there. So Jason Palezzi, how's things, mate? We're not talking law and order at the moment. We're going to just have some fun, talk some footy. How's things?
Yeah, good, mate. Ironically, tomorrow's my birthday.
Oh,
18.
Yeah. I think I might be going on 55, to be honest, but yeah. Yeah, that's good. 15th. My best mate just had a baby as well tonight, so it's all happening with the birthdays in May.
Quick shout out to you, mate. Go on, you might be listening.
Yeah, Cooksy.
Might need a break.
Congrats, mate. Congrats, Andrew and Ash, on little baby Leo. Congratulations, all the best, and can't wait to meet the little guy.
And he'll see you in 18 years.
Congrats. Share it around, guys. Let's get everyone involved tonight. We're having a real sort of party theme atmosphere and just having a bit of fun with things and talking some footy. First up, before I go to the mainstays here, just want to quickly address this one because I know it'll come up a fair bit. There's a lot going around at the moment about this massive rumor. There's names and stuff floating about. I'm sure most people have heard things. Not going to address anything yet. Obviously, it's a very big case for what is going to possibly be happening with it. We've got to respect that process, and I don't want to get the podcast shut down by saying anything or end up behind bars. So I want to enjoy Magic Round, so we'll avoid this for now.
Don't name names. Don't name names. It'll be sweet.
Yeah, I want to enjoy Magic Round by getting locked up at Magic Round. Is that what you're about to say? Or
well, if I'm hanging out with you for too long, it might happen. So, Jez, that's where you come into this. I've got to spend a weekend with this bloke. Can you give me some pointers or tips, please, on how to survive 3 days with Adam Martin?
You won't get a word in. So it's a Martin trait. They can talk underwater. So just let him go. He'll get himself in trouble. He'll make friends with everyone around him. Just enjoy the ride, honestly.
Bring your wallet. Mine.
No, of course. Now, Adam, I'm going to you. There is a few things I want to address with you. One is a segment you've been crying out to do, and I really am happy for you to take over because you're the only one here that's actually done Magic Round for the whole 3 days and done it properly. So I need to find out off you how we actually go about doing it and how we survive this 3 days of mayhem.
Yeah, all right. Well, I declare myself a bit of a Magic Round veteran, but last year was probably the first time I've done all 3 days. So in 2019, I watched The Death of Parramatta. That was hard. I actually did that one with some friends, we'll say that much, and it wasn't quite as fun. 2020, I didn't do it because COVID. 2021, I did it with a 6-month-old, 7-month-old baby. But last year was a real ride. Last year was huge, all 3 days, 8 games of footy. Probably had COVID, didn't get tested. Survived on about 4.5 hours sleep across the 3 nights. And got to watch Parramatta get beaten in the 8th game by the Gold Coast Titans, a team on the up. But there's some things you need to know going into Magic Round. Look, I'll give the warning first off. This one cops people every year. Delusional cam. Now, if you've been to Magic Round and you get caught on delusional cam, you want to pay attention because, honestly, it sits on people and they put a timer up and it goes for about 45, 50 seconds. And it just goes until the person looks at the camera and fuck, there's some idiots that don't look up. I'm telling you that much. It's delusional, Cam. It's great. Mexican waves. You don't want to be the person that kills the Mexican waves. Mexican waves are a big feature there. Singing. So we're going to get some practice in here, guys. I know there's two of us going to Magic Round. But when I go, Sweet Caroline, what do you do?
Bum, bum, bum.
Thank you. Look, you're ready to go. Apparently singing Hey Baby to every semi-decent, attractive police officer is a thing as well. And look, there's not much else. Just hating on teams. You find yourself supporting 8 different teams. But the biggest tip I can give for surviving Magic Round is if it's your shout for a beer, sneak back in quietly. Because if you're going to buy 4 beers, all right, you're not going to make it back in the stands without some idiot going, skull, skull.
Skull.
So just to
skull,
practice.
Skull.
Let's take the headphones off, but just to practice.
Well, this podcast turning into a drinking podcast. First the Nick Martin, now it's the Adam Martins.
Hang on.
Skull.
Then you take another couple of steps and they go, one more? You got to go again.
He's got 2 drinks, 3.
And you're like, all right, I'll take my 2 drinks back to my friend. I'll take 2 more steps. And they go, one more? And you go, all right,
Tell me you got another one.
And then you got to finish.
We went to the bar and bought
like, you gotta
4,
finish
so let's
your
see.
4. Yeah, you have
and then
to
you
finish
think to
your 4.
yourself, well, for fuck's sake, there is only 1 beer left. I'm going to the bar no matter what to buy more drinks for my friends. This is when the security start to watch. So if you're going to do this, make sure your team's already played. I'll probably be doing this at halftime of the Parramatta game, hoping to fucking get kicked out. You may as well have the 4.
Was it Milk? He had a mustache for a second there.
Yeah. I think he's sculling milk.
Cocky Milk.
Oh,
Hey.
Hot milk.
James is asking. It's definitely water.
Now,
I think. Don't worry about the audio. It's all good.
Yeah.
You just do your thing.
I don't drink a lot of beer, but that was promise you that was beer. It was pure blonde, low carb, only 86 calories of beer. So 4 of them gone. That's how you survive Magic Round. So make sure if you're going to do that, you're very quiet about it, which you can't be with 300 people in the area going skull, 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 because you will get kicked out because security at Suncorp are a bunch of fucking tossers. That is all.
Yes. Thanks. Thanks for this is quality. Thanks, guys. I hope you all continue to stay. It's his birthday. He's just turned 18, so let's just let him sip on this one. I reckon he might puke on air. We could go really, really low.
Just FYI, if I see someone sneak, well, there he goes.
Oh, hang on. It's birthday boy's up.
He's done. Now, I've heard a rumor, guys, that in about the 30th minute of the show, to get him in the spirit of Magic Round, Joel's actually going to do a shoey. All right. So I don't know if it's true or not. Are you going to do a shoey, Joel? Is that true?
I don't have a shoe on me.
You better get one this
I won't
time.
be doing a shoe.
Oh,
I won't
wow.
be doing one. Jez, we're
Yeah,
going to get
alright,
this
hang on.
back. We're going to get
Jesus,
this
we're
back.
going downhill fast. We're really
If-
turning
if-
into a rugby league podcast, aren't we?
If Parramatta beat Melbourne, will you do a shoey at the game?
Yes. If Parramatta beat Melbourne, 100%.
That's not going to happen, guys. So
I'll
safe.
do it.
I was going to say that's a pretty good odds for no shoey.
Yeah, well, I'll see what happens. Anyway, we've got 9 minutes in. We've had Adam Skull 4 beers. Drink responsibly, guys. We've had the birthday's he's gone. The birthday boy's done. He's got to go spew. So let's go to what caught our eye this week. So I'll start with Jez. Jez can lead us from the front. What caught your eye this week?
Love a good backflip. So that was always fun to read. The backflip of Fafita. Titans, he's back. So I just went and did a bit of a deep dive on the most famous backflips in NRL history. We've got Greg Inglis that's popped up. The Broncos thought they had him, but no good. There was also whispers of him going to Essendon to play AFL. So that's always a fun one. Josh Papali, my Eels friends, in 2013, you thought you had your bloke, but no good. He did a backflip, and that would have been quite an impressive one to see. Tedesco backflipping on the Tigers. Well, no, the Raiders, sorry. There goes the 3 superstars from there. Luke Lewis was mentioned for a backflip as well. So, I don't know. I just had fun deep diving on the many backflips that have happened in NRL history. So thanks, Dave.
What about
Oh,
DCE, mate?
I,
DCE on the Titans.
Yeah.
Nah, we don't talk about that one. That was too obvious. I wanted to go deeper. I want to go deeper.
I love it. Alrighty, Jason, what caught your eye this week?
Apparently, you can score 100 Supercoach points in under 10 minutes.
Oh, that's a good one. That's
Dominic Young, literally under
Yes,
10
that
minutes,
was-
over 100 Supercoach points. Great to watch.
That
Great
hurt.
to see. Don't own him. Regretting
Yeah.
not bringing him in, but that was that's. I'm not sure if that's some sort of record, but yeah, 10 minutes, 100 Supercoach points. So that
And
was
a quick
unbelievable
plug
watch.
to the Supercoach podcast with myself and Jesse. Jesse actually said last week to everyone to get him in because he's about to take off his bottom dollar price, and he didn't even listen to himself. I didn't listen to him. So hopefully anyone out there that did listen to the podcast actually listened and took his advice, because
Yeah.
you'd be sitting pretty.
Yeah.
Goosey, next time just please change it to Goosey, because it keeps throwing me. What caught your eye this week? It can be either on or off the field.
Crichton absolutely ripping the Warriors apart. He killed it. So.
Hang on. I just heard tick, tick, tick. So I think your headphones is playing up again. We'll go back to you. Hold on a second. Adam, what caught your eye this week?
Not much. I didn't watch a lot of footy after Parramatta got beat on Friday night. Look, once again, I got out to some local footy. Just the talent running around Newcastle comp caught my attention. Really not much else to add. Like I said, after your team gets beat, you kind of enjoy a week away from footy. It's been fantastic.
Yeah, it was a bit like that. I managed to watch a lot of the games. What caught my eye, I actually was on the same sort of trajectory as Jesse, because I wanted to bring it into our sort of first talking point with the David Fafita drama, backflip. There's a few ways I want to take this, because I actually want to take it to the point of the Roosters. Have they lost a little bit of their star power in terms of the player market? They've missed out on 2 players inside a week. Dane Gagai was the first one, which they probably thought that they had him signed, sealed, delivered. David Fafita had him literally signed, sealed, delivered, and then just its return to sender was hit. I love the spin. I'm not buying it. I don't think it was the Roosters that cut this off. I actually think it was Fafita that said to him, I don't want to go anymore. And the Roosters are just very good at spinning it. They got the right people in the media who like to twist it and make them always look like they win in a situation. So I feel like it is the Roosters overall that have lost in this deal. Credit to the Titans. They're building, guys. I keep saying it. The Gold Coast Titans are building. Get on board. I know Adam's on board this weekend. But Adam, I'll throw to you first. Is the Roosters losing their sort of quality in the player market?
I think so. I think their window is certainly closing for chances to win the comp. I think they're a big chance of winning the comp this year. But with what they're losing next year, I think Fafita had a real think about it, and they're not going to be the powerhouse they could be this year. Now, they could be the first team this year to win the comp, and then next year they could finish bottom 4, because they have lost a lot of players when you look at what's leaving. So I think Fafita, I don't want to sound like Joel here, but let's be honest, like the Gold Coast have got some good young players coming through. They're probably 3 or 4 good quality players away from being a strong team. I'm not saying they're going to win a comp, but they could be a top 8 team with 3 or 4 more new additions to the team. So I think he's seen that. He's made a smart career move. The smarter career move may have been to go to Penrith, but I think upending your life for a team that could lose their halfback to go to the English Super League soon, because love conquers all, is a pretty big move to do. So I think the Titans, good place for Dave to be at the moment. He's starting to play, I'd say, consistent football for the first time in his career. All he needs now is some Gold Coast fans to get behind him, and I'll be one of them on the weekend.
While there's a lot of comments coming in, guys, loving the episode, keep it going. I forgot to show the current promotion we've got running, the giveaway for the field club tickets for that Parramatta versus Storm game, kindly donated by Exvisory, which is Jason Pelesi. So that's a huge giveaway. 2 tickets for that, everything included. It's going to be a fantastic night. I'm probably watching Parramatta get their pants pulled down once again. But hey, it's a great experience, not just for Para fans. You're going to get a bonus 5 entries. So I'll pick a comment that I like the most. It can be a funny one, it can be a witty one, or it can be a serious footy comment one. I'll just pick out my favorite comment and they'll get a bonus 5 entries into that draw. So Jez, go to you because you did mention the backflip as well. But for the Rooster side of you, because you actually had your player Dane Gagai turn him down where it looked like he potentially was going to go there. What is it with the Roosters? Because they don't normally miss their players that they want, especially when they've literally signed the deal. They've put posts up about it, and here they are, basically egg on their face.
I think it's they're going for the wrong people. So they've probably gone for the wrong person twice here. So Fafita would have been a really good signing, but I just don't think he wanted to leave the Gold Coast. I think he wanted to play the hand of the Titans, see what they could come up with. With Gagai, actually spoke to him because his son plays for the football club that I'm playing for. And I've kind of got the vibe that he doesn't want to start again. Like, he doesn't want to move. His family are well entrenched here in Newcastle. He's probably only got 1 more year left anyway. Why move down to Sydney, relocate for all of that for 2 years to probably end up back here? So that one's more of a timing of career-wise for Dane Gagai. It's great for Knights fans because he is playing some really good footy and consistent footy. And it wouldn't surprise me if an injury or something happens, you see Dane Gagai pop up in Origin this year again. He's always just there. He fills that jersey so well. So I just think, not so much. I think the Roosters have probably gone after the wrong people. It was bizarre them announcing the Fafita stuff and then it backflipping. I do enjoy seeing a little bit of egg on the Roosters' face because I'm still a bit butthurt from Dom Young.
You're right, though. It is a fantastic place to retire. Look at all the players the Knights have brought up to retire over the years. It's been fantastic. Take me back to the Nathan Tinkler era.
Yeah, well, that was my photo that I sent through for the Get to Know Me on the League of Inches. I sent through my 3 in a row. Thank you very much. We're proud of the retirement home that we set up a couple of years ago. But don't forget, we spoke about Parramatta also being quite the retirement home. We're good for it.
Yeah, we signed them up. They
Don't
failed their
worry.
medicals.
Yeah.
There's a few more of those Get to Know You posts coming out, guys. It's just been flat out, and they'll be out over the next couple of days as well. Jason, I want to throw you, and I want to ask you a bit of a different question regarding this. I want to talk to you about, I personally think the Roosters have gotten away with one here because I don't think Fafita was actually what they needed. And what I mean by that is I feel like they've already got Crichton. Crichton's one they should be keeping. I don't think Fafita is going to help them become a better team next year with the players that they're losing. They need to focus their intentions elsewhere in terms of the backs, in terms of a playmaker. I don't think forwards was anywhere near an option that they needed to get. So do you think they've actually got away with one here where they're getting out of paying someone that they don't really need?
Well, I'll answer your question in a more diverse, roundabout way. I think they've gotten out of maybe getting in some salary cap trouble. From what I can understand, if I draw some inferences from what's been said in the media, Gordon Tallis was throwing hints left, right, and centre and would not stop. And I wouldn't be surprised if David Fafita spoke to Gordon about the deal. All he kept saying was, why would you go to the Roosters for less money? Why would you go to the Roosters for less money? And then he would not stop saying that. If you draw some of the inferences from there, maybe, and then there's been, I think someone commented as well that it said that Fafita wasn't happy with the deal, wasn't comfortable with the way the deal was structured. So that to me could be potentially they've offered some sort of, guaranteed shares that go up in the next 3 years, some sort of, classics Rooster sombrero, whatever it is. And he's pulled out. And I think that maybe the Ponga pressure as well. About, his dad going to the NRL about third-party deals, maybe a bit of everything combined, made the Roosters a bit scared to press for the deal.
Roosters wouldn't do that. Come on.
I was about to say, are we forgetting who we're talking about here?
Yeah, it's the red, white, and Bluesters. They wouldn't do that. Come on.
Well, look, Uncle Nick is a great businessman.
There's another theory floating around, which is kind of on track what you're about to mention with Uncle Nick. There's a theory floating around that he didn't want Fafita to go to Penrith and Penrith be that strong. He threw an offer out there he couldn't resist compared to Panthers' offer, then pulled it off the table, knowing he never actually wanted him just so he wouldn't go to Penrith. Could be a great theory and wouldn't surprise me with the Roosters. They've pulled everything away over the years. So,
yeah. Well, I thought, how could you give up a going to Penrith, but at the same time, the Gold Coast
Penrith.
deal was way too much money. And the Roosters, why would you go to the Roosters when they're going to lose, what is it, 3 or 4 of their top class players next year? But yeah, I think the Roosters need a half. Like Kiri's retiring. Walker is rocks and diamonds. Why aren't they going after an elite half for $1 million a year or whatever they were throwing at Fafita plus a Roosters deal on the side, whatever they do. I'm not making any allegations, but I'm sure they're very smart in the way they structure their deals. So why aren't they going for that? And was Fafita going to play 5'8"? Like it was a strange situation, to be honest.
Why live in Broadbeach waters when you can live in St Mary's? Like, honestly.
Look at the housing market. It would have been crazy to go there less money. He would have been, the poor bloke would have been struggling on $850 in Bondi. What I want to ask about, and the old man has actually brought it up. What do you boys think of the Ponga situation? And then there's a bit of rumors around the Ponga to the Roosters talk as well, and that's why this deal has been pulled. If you're thinking about it from a Roosters point of view, being in power, I don't believe so, but that's just me. Ponga's dad's obviously been talking up this week. He's the manager for his son. There's a little bit of murmurs around that there's a lot more to this third-party deal that hasn't been paid, or they're chasing up and they're trying to test the market again and just sort of poke at things and say, look, I'm not happy and I deserve more money than he's already getting. I think he's already on 1.3, 1.4. Ridiculous money, ridiculous. And he wants more money. I don't know. In a way, if I was a Knights fan, I want to say this about the Knights right now. The last 3 weeks without Ponga, they have looked like actually a better team. I know they're a much better team strength-wise when Ponga's there, but without Ponga, everyone has stepped up. Adam, what are you laughing at?
I just think if the Roosters can get Ponga to come, right? If they can pull that one off and he heads to the Roosters and him and Connor Watson combine, it's going to be huge for rugby league.
Oh, honestly, you know what?
Genuine question though, with Ponga's recent run of injuries, go back to his head assessments and stuff that have been going as well. Is he a viable investment for clubs wanting to spend lots of money on a player like him? As a Knights supporter, we're used to disappointment, so it wouldn't there's no surprise. They're all rumors anyway. So until there's something actually that comes out and there's no backflip, we're kind of used to just, things happening that the club just randomly does. So, we're pretty prepared for any sort of bad news that comes out of Newcastle, but we're resilient people. So it's the next man up mentality.
The next man up. Wow. I think Jeremy's right though. Like I said this to Jeremy last year. At the start of last year, Newcastle played better football without Ponga. They actually played quite well when he was off on his hiatus overseas to get his head fixed. And that one wasn't a pun. And they turned around and they, when he come back and went on that run, obviously back in the year, they got used to playing with him again. They're playing better football now than they were with him at the start of the year. I don't think they need him. $1.3 million or whatever is, obviously not taking a third-party deal into it, is a huge amount of money to be paying for him when they've got someone like Armstrong doing the deal, doing the work that he was doing anyway. Their halves are playing better. Their reserve grade quality halves are playing better without him. But I don't know. I just don't think they need him. And I think it's an excuse as well. Like his dad's an expert. His dad's gone the NRL and reported this. If Newcastle have to pay this third-party deal, it becomes a salary cap breach and he's able to renegotiate another deal. So, yeah, he'll probably end up with someone like the Roosters. There's always room in the cap.
Or he'll end up at rugby because that was always the plan. Don't forget, remember? He always wanted to play for the All Blacks, so that's the plan.
Is he good enough to play for the All Blacks?
Come in here.
There you go.
No, Goosey, your connection, I've got to mute you. Sorry, brother. Your connection, just try and fix up. There's some issues there. It's all good. Hold on.
It's like the Warriors season.
Yeah.
It's just terrible.
It's going. It was good right at the start. Now it's played up. Sorry, guys. I know there was a bit of crackling and probably got a bit in your ears with some headphones on or something. So I do apologise. We'll have to get that fixed up, and we'll watch him just running around and have a look at things. But to answer your question, Jess, as I said, I reckon the Knights, and you're the fan, you've been able to watch them. It hasn't been pretty the last few weeks, but what I've noticed is when Ponga out, it's made everyone else on the football field, the 17 players, actually step up and play their role and do it properly. And I just feel like when I'm watching him, they actually look like a team. Where the start of the year, I know it was Ponga and the Ponga brilliance you can't get away from. It just felt like everyone was waiting for Ponga to do something. Where now they're thinking, I'm the guy that can actually do something.
Ponga is incredibly good, and anyone who denies that has rocks in their head. He is a fantastic rugby league player. Him in free play, like he creates things out of nothing. But that's the thing. What has happened with our reserve grade halves, as we like to call them, with Ponga on the field, they think, oh no, I have to pass it to this bloke. He's way too good. He needs to have the ball in his hands. Do something, Kalen. Go for it. So without him on the field, they've actually had to play their positions. They've had to actually put on plays. We're contesting kicks again. So, but Armstrong has done a very, very good job. And you're right. I think there's a lot of noise around Kalen. There will always be a lot of noise around Kalen, where he's going, what's happening. And if his dad continues to manage him, then it's not going to be fantastic. But I'm still putting money on they're trying to weasel him out so he can play for the All Blacks whilst he still can. Because if he continues
he can walk
injury
away.
road, he won't be playing so much longer anyway.
He can do that. He can walk away from rugby league. SBW did it. Like, there's nothing stopping him from going to All Blacks. Just I don't.
Do you remember when he came back and how good the ad campaign was for that? SBWOMG. So good.
Under the Roosters cap, of course. Is he back with it? Is Goosey back with us? He's bright down there.
I think he's
is.
On mute. I think he's muted himself. So I actually can't unmute him this time. So I think it's his or his mic. So this is gone. On day. It's not a good debut. It's not a good debut. We'll get back to him, but let's move on. Keep the show rolling here, guys. I want to go to the Sharkies. None of us tipped them on the weekend against the Melbourne Storm in our tipping comp. Everyone went the Melbourne Storm. Even without Hines, the Sharkies, their style of play at the moment, I've got to admit, I'm super impressed with what I'm seeing from the Cronulla Sharks. Jason, do you have them at the moment as contenders in this competition?
Look, I tipped them for the minor premiership the second I saw their draw, because they got a very soft draw yet again. But they're looking.
Hang on, before you go any further, have you heard Gallen talk about that? Jeezy gets salty every time. He's like, "Oh, they keep mentioning the draw." Shut up, Gallen.
He knows it's a soft draw. He knows it's a soft draw. If they don't get the minor premiership, they should just run themselves into a wall. Seriously, they have a deep draw. But look, seriously, they are looking good. I mean, before Trindle got into a bit of trouble, he was looking excellent as well. Hines got into a great bit of form. You've got Hazelton running through everyone and scoring tries. Everyone doing their job. Talakai coming off the bench with impact. It's a solid side. Ito is getting I don't know, like 15, 16 hit-ups a game, doing like 100 meters. It's a very good side. They're definitely up there. Beating Melbourne under strength, Melbourne isn't what Melbourne used to be. I'd like to see Cronulla and Sharks. I'd like to see back end of the year going into finals, etc. If they can go on a bit of a run for sure, they're definitely up. But I still think that they've got to win the minor premiership. They've got to win the minor premiership.
You're on air. You're live.
Yeah, that's all right. Can you hear me now?
I can hear you. You're good now. You're good. You just stick with us. Let us know your thoughts on, first of all, Ponga, is he good enough for an All Black? Let's go back there for you, and then we'll go to the Cronulla Sharks.
Oh, Jace, you did a good job there, though. You summed that up quite nicely.
Yeah, you did.
Jason did a good job. I was trying to catch Goosey before he walked away on us again. He was all good.
Nah, I don't think Pong is good enough for an All Black jersey. Even with the people leaving and stuff for the All Blacks, I just don't think. Nah, he's just not good enough at the moment. He hasn't played, so you can't judge it.
What about the Sharkies? Do you think they're
I believe it because
contenders
it
at the
sounded
moment?
so. It sounded so authentic the way he said that. So I'm going to say yes. I believe him.
I think if Sharks have Hines fit for like the remainder of the season, like, and he backs up during Origin, I think they have a good chance. But if not, as my mate say, G, the Sharks are just pretenders, man.
Ooh, look out!
Can you just
Look
give me one
out.
sure, bro? Just
Sure,
one.
bro.
Sure, bro.
And coming from a Warriors fan, because we're pretenders.
He knows about
as well at the
pretenders.
moment, so-
Yeah, 100%.
yeah.
But
We're
they still
getting
have
to the
that
Warriors
feeling about them,
again.
don't they? Like the Sharks still have that feeling about them, even though they're top of the table. You still watch them play, and you go, "Oh, I'm
Yeah.
just not convinced."
It's because of history. Like they could be minor premiers. It just means they go out in
Yeah.
week 2 of the finals, not week 1. It's still a chance of happening. But look, I'll say
They just
now,
keep
I had
winning.
them as pretenders. They did impress me on the weekend, but they still weren't playing a full strength Melbourne team. Hughes was out, Coates was out. We saw obviously the damage that Coates did to the Warriors. He practically won that game by himself. We know what Hughes has done this year as well. Oh wow, Andrew.
No, he's
That's
Irish.
really-
He's Irish.
Yeah.
Mate, too many CTEs down there. And yeah, I don't know. You're right. There's a feeling I'm not sure until they actually test themselves with back-to-back hard games. That's been the issue. Like, they play the Roosters this week. If they can turn it on this week after beating Melbourne in Melbourne, I'll say they're a genuine chance to win the comp.
They keep getting sin bin calls like that. They'll win every game.
100%.
That was-
Oh God.
I'm trying to stay away from the referees for 1 week because I feel like we're back to for about 4 weeks straight on this show.
He did. He kind of Watson though. He got off.
Can you?
I was about to say what ran into his knee.
Oh God.
You said anything goes on
Um,
tonight's show.
Honestly, everyone. I hope you're having a drink with us as well. Drink
Mute Adam.
responsibly, Adam. Yeah, I'll mute him in a second. The beers are kicking in for him. The Warriors. And Shem, I did get that question. I've started. It's a very good question. So I'll save the questions for the end when we do a few of the fan questions. But I'll start starring some of these questions you guys sent through, and we will get to them. Goosey, the Warriors, the Wars up are no longer. It's Wars down. What the fuck is happening to your team? I had you as my I had you as my massive
the Wars.
premiership favourites, and I thought you could win the comp. You look like you're going to actually make the bottom 4 at this rate.
Oh, like the season's not over, to be honest, but the rate that we're playing, the season is over, I think losing Metcalf, like, you look at him and you're like, oh, like his name is like, he's not like a big player, but I feel like in our platform, in our program, he's like a really big player. And I think we're really missing Metcalf's like running game and stuff like that. Obviously, like that's not going to get us like the big wins against the Roosters or anything, but like the Newcastle Knights, like what the hell was that? I'm sorry, but like that game was terrible.
Oh, be careful.
It's reserve grade
Shots
halves. Exactly right.
Mate, we've got thick skin over here. We're used to it. We can throw daggers. But you're right. You miss Metcalf. He was really he was phenomenal last year as well for the Warriors. So it was just a really strong tackle that broke his leg, by the way. Frizzell smashed him. But you are missing him. He is instrumental in most of your wins. But I just feel like a couple of your stars just haven't fired recently as well. Like all of the acronyms just aren't playing to their full potential, which is super frustrating because the Warriors on fire are a bloody good team.
It's a tradition in New Zealand. Like I'm sorry, Ryan, you're going to take this personally, but New Zealand teams don't handle pressure well. Rugby Union World Cup finals. Cricket World Cup finals. Every time the Warriors are meant to have a good year, they go terrible. Every time they have a year they're expected to do nothing, they go well. I don't know what it is about New Zealand culture, because their New Zealand sporting culture is what I mean. But
Thank you.
They
Chill out, man. They're going to water.
They do seem to choke every time they're meant to have a good year. And I'm sorry, like I'll be supporting the Warriors against Penrith because fuck Penrith, but I can't.
The Wars.
Yeah, exactly right. I don't think for the Warriors will actually. It's going to get ugly on whatever day they play, Sunday.
But isn't that what happens to most teams though? When they have that really good season, the season that follows is usually not as good unless you're a Penrith or a Roosters.
Unless
back
you
to back.
Penrith.
Yeah.
Storm.
We're talking
Because that's what I think.
every single
that's
one
what
of our
I think
teams
happened.
here. Yes.
Yeah, that's what I think's happened. It reminds me of a Parramatta 2018, 2017 fourth, 2018 last, and
The
I
Canberra
think,
Raiders.
you have your halves that either aren't playing well together or always injured, and that's what's happening to the Waz at the moment. The halves are just not. I mean, you've got CNK and 5'8" this week. I mean, I don't know what's going on there, but maybe just out of desperation. RTS injured, probably the best fullback in the world playing at centres. And AFB is their leading try scorer. So I don't know what's happening with the Warriors, but when I think after the Manly draw, I think there's a lot of confidence lost. I think other teams are doing a better preparation on them and looking at players and how they play. And because they were so good last year, teams are actually stepping up and saying, "Oh shit, Warriors are a good team. We better turn up for this one." And I think that's the reason. It's trying to get up for the second year. Players out of form and players injured, and teams are stepping up. Teams are noticing that Warriors will get us. We're going to have to prepare properly and prepare very well. And lack of confidence. I mean, if your front row is your leading try scorer, I don't know what's going on with the rest of them, but to put RTS when he's fit back at fullback, and a lot of things will change. Trust me.
There's a couple of things that point out to me at the moment with the Warriors, and one of them, straight away you start to think, did SJ go one season too many? Not too sure. That's a question there. Aiden Fennell-Blake is an absolute freak, and just how much are they good? How much does their forward pack rely on Aiden Fennell-Blake to make them maybe look better than they are? Maybe we've overhyped them this year. I'm not too sure, but for mine, they've got a stronger squad than last year. They should be right up there. Like, it just does not make sense. I want to ask the question though, and Goosey, this is to you before we move on. When does the coach start to get a little bit of pressure? Because obviously a great year last year. It's his first year coaching, and it was a fantastic year. But I'm not putting pressure on him. I'm not saying he should be going or whatever, but all I want to know is, from like a Warriors fan, as Para fans, we're used to having the same coach now for 11 years who's basically achieved nothing for us, but gets extension after extensions. You don't want to fall into that trap. But he's obviously knows what he's doing, but has he maybe fatigued this squad already? And it's only a year and a bit into his tenure with just how hard his style is, and does it really pair up with your Warriors?
I think going back to like the Sean Johnson thing, I think Sean Johnson's just in a patch of his career. Maybe it was a year too long, but his decision making is just not the same as last year. Like when I was watching the game, you're having like four sets in a row. Their last tackle option was hitting a short ball on the line. Like there wasn't no kicks or nothing. It was just
he's
like
that comes from the short dropout as well. Like teams are starting to do that. They know if they put the grubber in. But I think the problem is Sean Johnson maybe they've flicked him into Cronulla mode by mistake. We've got to flick him back into Warriors mode because he's just going terribly. Continue. Sorry, I couldn't resist.
No, you're good. Nah, but I think
Welcome to Adam.
I don't think like Webster is the problem. Like even though we're going through a lot of pressure at the moment, when you're watching the game, you're not like, this is Webster's problem. You can see the clear game plan, the clear like kicking position, like the defensive line, everything. It's just the discipline, and they're just rubbish, with all due respect.
I agree there with Shane. Just with Mika, you can rewind at the start. I will chop it up and post it a bit later. Your brother
it's
tries
just your brother rambling.
rambling and choking on beer. So it was a couple of skulls. You just let us know what to expect for Magic Round for the 3 days. You don't want to walk downstairs with 4 beers in your hand. Origin talk, boys.
I did not Warriors those beer. I got them down perfectly.
What did you just say?
I did not Warriors those beer. You said I choked on them.
Yeah.
I did not.
Someone call a taxi.
Yeah,
I'm gonna mute him. I think I'm gonna put my power down and mute him. Let's talk about Origin. It's around the corner. I want to get your 1, 6, and 7 for New South Wales, Queensland a set. Queensland are going to win the series 3-0 at this rate. Jason, I'll go to you first. Who is your 1, 6, and 7 for the Blues game 1?
Yeah, well, I don't know if this is controversial or people are going to think I'm stupid, but Dylan Edwards at 1. I'm sick of Tedesco. He's had his time. He's had his chance. He never passes the ball. I can't stand it when he plays Origin. Give it to Edwards. He really runs his ass off. We look at Penrith without Cleary and how much he steps up and how much he does, how much he runs and his positional play. It's just awesome. Now I know we're going to miss the steppy goosey from Tedesco doing that all the time, but I'd much rather a workhorse who's fit. He is an Origin player. He's going to be the same speed, the same energy from minute 1 to 80 minute, and that's what you need. He's not going to care if he drops the ball. He's going to pass the ball. He's going to make sure people are in the right positions, and he's not going to worry about running 200 meters on his own. And everyone can say, oh, but he still runs 200 meters. Yeah, but how many try assists did he have? And what did he actually do? So that's Dylan Edwards 100% for me. My 6 or 7 has to be Hines. He needs to have a go in the halves. He needs to get an opportunity. I heard Matty Johns and Cooper Cronk say Hines and Moses. Moses at 7, Hines at 6. I do agree with that. I do like that because Moses at this stage, if he's fit, he's got that arrogance that is what a 7 needs. He's really got that. He can yell at people, put people in the right positions, and he's played 2 or 3 games now. So he's got a little bit of experience. He can definitely be there, and Hines can just be the one that sparks. Does the running, the offloading, and making something happen. But if Moses isn't fit, I honestly would struggle to who's next. Honestly, would definitely struggle to who's next because
the GOAT, Luke Brooks.
Yeah, maybe you move Hines to 7. I mean, Luke at 6. I don't know.
Jesus, someone does not approve of that. They're after you.
I thought someone was getting evacuated then.
It was probably you getting arrested.
I mean, maybe you have to put LOI at 6 and Hines at 7. I don't know, but I'd hate to be Madge making that decision, to be honest, because I'm not sure if our depth is great in the halves.
Goosey, give me your 1, 6, and 7. You obviously don't care being a Kiwi, so this would be interesting where you take this.
Nah, I love the Maroons. I hate the Blues. But is this what I think? Like, if I was the Blues coach, is this the Blues coach what I would do, or is this what I think?
Went to Dreamworld once and loves Queensland all of a sudden.
Oh, it's Queensland resident. What you would do? I want your 1, 6, and 7.
Okay, so I would have Tedesco at the back because I know he's a clinical player and I know he'll do the job in the Blues jersey. He's great at drawing penalties, and he owns the jersey at this very point. He hasn't done anything to lose the jersey, in my opinion. And then I think I would go, if Moses is fit, Moses plays 7 and Hines is 6. And then if not, I think, it's got to be, I don't know who you put at 6 if Moses ain't fit. Like, if it's Luke Brooks, like, you may as well just give the shield up to Queensland already, bro. Like, come on. Bring it home. Bring it home.
Who's got
Adam, they're coming, Adam.
I've got a fire station right across the road.
It's just someone's on. The party's really taken off here at League of Inches. We've got sirens, we've got smoke screens, we've got everything. Jez,
I was like,
give me your 1,
Round has
6, and 7.
Magic Round has started early. There's already trouble.
There's a little magic button that mutes microphones when you're not wanting them. So it is. We're going to go with.
I'm a rookie, mate. Sorry, I'm a rookie. I don't know.
I went with who I think they're going to pick, not who I initially or really want in the team, but just who I think they are going to pick. So I agree with Mika in the comments that Teddy's going to be fullback. It's his jersey. He's not going to lose it. He will be there until he retires. He'll be captain again. It's Teddy's team until he says, that'll do, I've had enough. I've got Nico in there just because he is playing good footy and so is his team. So Nico in the 7. This is where it gets a bit funny. I'm not sure if they'll pick Moses straight away coming back from injury. So I've gone with LOI. So LOI has played Origin. He's done it before. He's fit. He's ready to go. So that's who I've got. Teddy, LOI, and Nico. That's not who I want, but that's who just I think they might pick. Because if they're going to pick someone who hasn't played for quite some time to play Origin, that's going to be a really ballsy call. Not saying that he won't be up for it because, as you all know, I'm a massive Parramatta hater, but I love Mitch Moses and I love his game and I love everything that he does. I would want him on my team every day of the week. But just with him being injured, I don't know if that's a very smart call to bring him straight in. There's chat about Burton at 6, but we all know he's probably one of the best centres getting around. And all he's good for is a brainstorming run and a Burton bomb. And if he does get picked and we don't get a Burton bomb, we're going to be very upset because it's literally all we wait for. When's it coming? Like when they played at Newcastle and he didn't do one. We were so filthy.
And they got beat by 60 because he didn't do one.
Exactly.
I know you're coming to me now, Joel, because I'm last. I think Jeremy's nailed it. Look,
I'm last.
as much as I hate LOI, he only got dropped from that third game last year due to injury. I think it's crazy to change your halves completely, which obviously they've been forced into doing. Look, who I'd pick as a fan, Parramatta, I don't want Moses there, but I think the best option would be Teddy. He'll stay there. I don't agree that he'll stay there. Teddy and Hines and Moses. But he's already come out and said that Moses and Hines are too much alike. So I'd be going Teddy at fullback, LOI at 5'8", and either Hines or Moses at 7, depending on how they can go and how Moses goes, obviously, when he returns. Not what I think is the best option whatsoever, but as New South Wales we're talking about, we don't get Origin.
Spot on.
What I think will happen, I reckon he'll go Tedesco, Hines, Moses. What I would personally go for, though, I'd go Edwards fullback. I would actually go Burton 5'8". I actually have been impressed with. I've always said Burton's not a 5'8", and I will stick to that. But he has definitely improved this year with the Bulldogs, and that left side attack he's got going at the moment has been really, really good for the Bulldogs. It's pretty much their only way of attacking. So that's saying something. So I think at that level, we've seen him do it at Origin Arena before. He actually steps up and is one of the best players on the field. So I'd go that, and I'd go Hines 7 at the moment because I know they said they'll pick Moses even if he's only playing that one game against the Bunnies next weekend, but I just can't see it happening. Like a foot injury, it's a broken foot, but that's what it was. And we've all heard the training loads and how training ramps up in the Origin camps. It's going to be so much load on his foot. And then the game itself, like I'd actually be extremely worried and concerned for him actually getting through that game and to carry a 7 with that. And if he's to go down after 10, 15 minutes, you basically screw the team. Like I'd rather go in with someone like, if Hines is fully fit, obviously he might be out or rested again this week with that injury from last weekend, but him and then a fully fit Burton or something, at least we've got 2 fully fit playmakers in that 6 and 7 position. But lots of people are talking about it like Origin's getting so close, guys. We'll probably in the next week or two might do an Origin special show where we start and just talk pretty much all Origin stuff. It seems to be this time of year where everyone just is frothing at the mouth to talk Origin. We've got a new game coming up. It's Magic Round. We want to get into things. It's not a drinking game, so Adam, don't get too excited. You can chill out.
We do need to mention and talk about tomorrow night's game. So Origin actually kicks off tomorrow night.
Yes, we'll go. I was going to go after this one, but we'll go now because it is Origin.
We're in the Origin realm.
Yeah, perfect. Well done, Jez. Take it away. Actually, you go. You start with it.
Blues are going to win because there's 3 games. The end.
Shout out, Adam. We've got a special shout out, don't we, for the New South Wales team?
Yeah. One of our friends.
Congrats to Liv.
Yes.
Obviously, come on the show at the back end of last year. She'll be joining us after Origin finishes, and we'll be doing a special thing with her before the NRLW starts. So good luck to her. It's been a long time coming. She's won 3 grand finals in a row, looking for 4 this year, and obviously got selected in that game tomorrow night. Pretty annoyed that the NRL left this so late to announce. They announced Magic Round well before they announced the NRL Women's State of Origin series. So all my flights were booked and stuff. Obviously, an accommodation was booked. So flying up to Magic Round on Friday morning, so I missed tomorrow night's game. But obviously good luck to her. On the game itself, it's good to see obviously be a 3-game series, one being in Newcastle as well. So yeah, it'll be interesting how that goes. Obviously disappointing the way it finished last year, but 3 games got to get a winner.
How
we get
did
Origin?
Jesse Southwell? How did Jesse Southwell get dropped? Can you explain that?
No idea. But the Parramatta
And they've
halfback
gone with the
as well.
Parramatta
I'm not too
halfback.
sure what's happened.
To be fair, the Parramatta
happened?
halfback she was there the year before when she played for St. George. I don't think it's got anything to do with how Parramatta went last year. A lot of the girls have been playing in the Host Cup, whatever they call it, the Women's Premiership in Queensland in the off-season. So I think they've picked a lot of team based on form up there. So all I can assume is Jessie hasn't been in the best form. And look, the larrikin she is, and obviously off the field as well. Something could have been said that's been taken the wrong way. I don't know. But she's young. She's the best half in the game on her day. So you think she'd find a way back in that team eventually.
Yep. Let's get a quick tip for this game. I'm so excited that it is a 3-game series now, exactly what it should be and what Origin is all about. That 2-game stuff was just ridiculous. Goosey, actually, I'll lead us off. I reckon New South Wales will win this series. I reckon they'll win it 2-1. They'll win tomorrow night as well. Goosey?
New South Wales, like it doesn't matter what it is. New South Wales just don't get Origin, man. So I'm going Queensland. I reckon it'll be 2-1. It'll be 2-1. It won't be a clean sweep, but 2-1.
Said like a true Queenslander. You drinking 4X?
Yeah.
Nah,
actually,
that's disgusting.
hang on. There was a question before, and I'm going to raise this now. What is it with you Kiwis just automatically go for Queensland? I've never met a Kiwi so far.
It's the same with people
actually
from
goes for
Melbourne
New
as
South
well.
Wales.
Melbourne,
Yeah,
exactly. But Melbourne, I get because they all
They had the 3.
most of their team is Queen. But it's all the Kiwis in Melbourne that support them when we went down to Melbourne Origin in 2018, was it? They were all supporting. I didn't get it. Like I said, they went to Queensland once for a holiday and loved the place that much they supported it. I get Goosey. He lives in Queensland, but like, I don't. Why, mate? Give us a why. Who was it?
I
Cameron
don't know,
Smith,
man.
Billy Slater, Greg Inglis, Darren Lockyer. Which one took your fancy?
Honestly,
Brad Thorne
being a little mangy, it was just Billy Slater. So being a little quickie, getting that chip over the
usually
top
is
when he
one.
scored that try. It's just beautiful. Like, and Queensland just get Origin. It's the closest to the All Blacks, It's just we just get it. Queensland just get it, man.
We. Are you listening to this language? We.
Yeah, 100%.
Yeah.
Please read
he
this
lives up
bloke.
to his name as well, guys. The Goosey, his Goosey step is ridiculous. So I'll just give him a little bit of it.
Stop
Big head
it,
there.
Joel, stop it,
Jace,
stop it.
Jace, this series, who wins it? Who wins tomorrow night?
Blues. No doubt.
What is it? Clean sweep?
Yeah. 100% clean sweep.
Jez?
Blues win tomorrow, but Tamika Upton gets first try. And I'm going to go with not Millie Boyle anymore, Millie Elliott for player of the match. New South
She
Wales
actually
by
changed
12.
her last name.
Yeah, she's listed
She
here
got
as
married.
Millie Elliott.
Got married.
Yeah, okay.
Off-season news
Come
show.
on,
Keep
dog.
up with it. Come on, mate.
I just didn't. Yeah, okay, no worries. Adam, this CC is
I've
getting
got-
to you guys.
Queensland
I won.
to win the series. Sorry, New South Wales win the series 2-1.
Oh, you said it.
I
You
think-
can't change it.
Yeah, New South Wales will win the first 2 games. Queensland win the last one. Queensland obviously always got the advantage. I'm not sure if their advantage this time is picking girls from New South Wales, but they do have the 2 games obviously in Queensland. So yeah, I've got New South Wales to win it still though. They'll wrap it up in Newcastle.
Yeah, Donna, we've done a little bit of a retro sort of theme with the jerseys tonight, so loving it, loving life. Let's go, Adam. I know you're so keen for this game that we're about to play. You're the host. You are the game show host tonight. Overs and unders, a Magic Round special. Take it away.
Magic round, we're going to obviously pick a score. I don't know how many I've actually got here because I've kept adding them throughout the show just to be fun. But
And get
everyone knows
involved
how
in the comments,
over-unders work.
please.
Yep. I'll go around. Yeah, get involved in the comments. Give us your over-unders. I'll start with Jeremy. I'll work my way around, but there's a special one for Jeremy as well. So it's always over-under, but I'm not going to say over-under. All games combined, this is 40 tries across the weekend. Over or under?
Over. Because I want it to be a spectacle.
Spectacle. Lovely. Not a sin bin spectacle. going on to that. Jason
Not a
Palesi.
crackdown. Not a crackdown.
Oh, yeah, I got it better than. Can I get it better than Joel?
Yeah,
I
get
got
it closer.
I got the hand going.
You do
Over
these ones.
under 5 sin bins.
Sin bins. Over or under? I'll say over.
Ooh.
Goosey. 15 HIAs.
Oh, under, surely. I don't want to. That's a lot of HIAs. And Pong is not playing, so we got one less there. You know, I think it's under.
Wow.
Under. Joel, this one's for you. Now, you're obviously going to be in the crowd, so this one's for you. 6 Penrith fans thinking they're untouchable. Over, under.
Over. Quadruple.
Yeah, I thought so as well. All right, I'll
Please,
continue. I'll
come in
continue.
peace, Penrith fans.
I'll give you another one, Joel, because you're going to be there. Over, under. It's obviously a sellout. 150K total attendance across the 3 days.
Oh, what's Suncorp's capacity? I think it's
Isn't it like
55,
53?
isn't it, or something.
Yeah.
In between
Yeah.
51 and 53.
Yeah, and they've basically said they've announced it's sold out for all 3 games. Whether there's a little bit on Friday, which I think might keep a few people away, but I don't care. I'll be into it. The other 2 days are good weather so far. I'll go under.
This is
I'll go
not
under
hot seat millionaire. Just give me an answer. You don't have to.
Yeah, I'll go under
Over,
just.
under.
Wow.
Just under. All right.
50-50.
Jeremy. 100 random South fans on non-South days. Over, under.
Ooh. I thought you were going to say
Joel-
South fans
me
with
and
more
Joel
than
will be
3
counting.
teeth.
I was going to say, who's going to count it?
Nah, over. Well over.
Jason Palesi.
Not including Caxton Street.
It's just on the day, the non-South day.
Oh.
6 Mexican waves in the crowd. Over, under across the 3 days.
A day?
6 Mexican. It's all across the whole 3 days. So 6 Mexican waves.
There's 6 Mexican waves an hour at Magic Round.
Way over.
Way more.
It's luck of the draw. So you're going over.
Definitely over.
All right. We've got 4 to go. All right. I'll go to actually no. Yeah, we'll go to Jeremy again. 10 failed short dropouts. Over, under.
Far out. This is a topic that I absolutely hate. Over. Because they suck.
Yeah. All right. Joel, actually there once again. 10 pitch invaders.
Oh,
And that's big.
that's
You know what? I reckon the Warriors fans have actually killed the New Zealand fans over there have killed this. So I reckon it'll be under. There's remember those that game they had when was it last year at the end of it or something? They had like 20 pitch invaders for the
it was
game.
a homecoming. It was a homecoming. They had like a
Yeah,
lot.
just kept let's celebrate by just streaking on the pitch. Yeah, I think that'll be under.
Lovely. Thank you.
But Adam, I'll
All right.
make a bold one. Adam will be one of them.
No,
Oh,
I can't afford the fine. All right.
We've got
Back to
Jason.
you,
You're only a 12-month ban. You're not going back till next year.
Yeah, it's true. Our season's already over. All right. This one here goes to you, Goosey. And getting a bit relevant now. 3 to go. 10 Warriors fans changing jerseys after their game. Over, under.
gee, honestly, if they're not changing their jersey by halftime, like what are they doing?
Oh, I mean
But-
to another team's jersey.
Yeah,
So they take their
100%.
Warriors jersey off after their
Oh,
3 o'clock game.
well over, like at
Well
least
over,
10
yeah.
times, bro. Every person.
Up the waz.
Up the waz, baby.
Up the was.
It's my last chance to get it right. Jason Palesi. 7
Palese.
tries against 7 tries. Palese. 7 tries against Parramatta.
It's over.
Oh,
And the final one, Jeremy, we've seen the Titans and the Newcastle halves. The Titans obviously naming 2 hookers in the halves. Final one, Titans and Knights, over 12 handling errors. Over under 12 handling errors.
Oh, over. Yeah, we're going big time. There's some spectacular names in the spines this weekend, so there might be a fair amount of drop ball or just miscommunication. It's going to be good. It's going to be good footy.
You would think with all the halves the Knights had when they put 5 of them on the field, they could have given the Titans one this week. But anyway,
Hey,
that's it.
our
That's all we've
injuries
got
that
time
are
for. Lovely.
we could predict we could predict what was going to happen this season. This is why we've gone deep in our halves. Injuries, mate. Get another 3
That's
in
it.
there.
That's all I've got, Joel.
I
Love it.
love it. No, that's all right. I've got one for you. Overs or unders? You 20 beers per day.
Well, under. I'm actually not a very big drinker. I actually don't like beer much, and I got
beers,
off
just drinks in general.
I got off last year. And I'm not talking about my trip to Bali.
Oh, did you?
I'm talking about at the I'm talking about at the game. So on the Friday night at Magic Round, went up and bought, because Queensland's great. Like, I do love Queensland, right? They pour the spirits there. Like, they pour, like, they're not these shit cans that are 1 cent. They pour the spirits. It's fantastic in the stadium. And the guy on the first night went and got 4 drinks, 4 vodka cokes. That's apparently what we're drinking. And when I went up and paid, he only charged me for the cokes that were like $6 instead of like $13. I went back to that same game, that same bloke all night. And
Mickey, are
he
you
turned
coming
around.
now? Like off.
Yeah, no, he's not. He's going to his band
He's
thing.
talking like he is.
Yeah, I know. He does that. And he turned around and so I was paying for a shout, I was paying $25. So we had about 16 on the first night. So, and then we couldn't back it up after that. I've never had a hangover. I just didn't feel like paying for actual alcohol.
Mika, just quickly, I know you got something on Saturday, which I have put a post up for those that are in the show at the moment. Can you just write something up that I can quickly show on the screen? Just some of the key details about the gig on Saturday morning-ish, I think it is. Someone called out of an ambulance. Yeah, I think you might need one soon. Let's talk. We're still talking about Magic Round, boys. Our biggest upset of the weekend. Who are we predicting to cause the biggest upset? Goosey, going back to you straight away, brother.
You know how we roll, man. It's just up the wires. We're gonna smack Penrith by at least 20, man.
Actually, no, I've got a new rule. New rule to this: you can't pick your own team. There's no easy way out here. You got to go something else.
Let me have a quick use. I was talking about it with my mates this afternoon, actually.
Because I think that's a fun shout.
I'm sorry, Jez, but I think the Titans with no halves are upsetting the Knights with reserve grade halves.
It would be the definition of an upset if the Titans beat us. So
that's a good one. Adam?
That or Rabbitohs beating the Cowboys.
You can't take them all. You get one go.
Yeah,
okay,
you go one.
It's because he's got his other jersey on underneath to change. That's why.
Nah. It will be the Titans beating the Knights.
Adam.
Adam on Sunday after he watches Melbourne absolutely kill Parramatta will be the most upset you'll see. Oh, biggest upset. Sorry. It's actually a bit of a hard one. I've never been more confident, besides obviously my own team, that I'm going to pick a perfect round this week because they all seem pretty laid out there. If I have to pick one, it could be the Titans, but he's already said that one. So I'm going to go a turbo-less Manly to beat Brisbane. Manly have been absolutely whacked up there every Magic Round. They get stuck playing a home game against Brisbane every Magic Round, and it's their time. I also really like the bye against the Dragons because the bye's due for a win, and the Dragons have been very inconsistent.
Jez?
I'm going to go with the Rabbits. The Rabbits being the upset of the round. I don't know. It's the Cowboys, man. Cowboys. The people in the comments love the Cowboys, but they must be watching different games. So it's going to be the Rabbits for the upset.
I'll try to be nice to the Cowboys this week. I've given a week off of getting bashed by us. So, Jason, who's your upset of the week?
Adam took mine. I think Manly will get up against the Bronx.
That's all right. Double up. It's all good. There's no one getting in trouble here. No whips getting cracked.
I really like Cooler at fullback. I think that's his best spot, and he's an absolute gun at fullback. And I think the Broncos didn't play that well against Para, and a bit of a better team with a bit more structure and less injuries. Even though Tommy's out, I think Cooler does an epic job there, and they might catch the Bronx by surprise.
My upset's the first game of the Magic Round. I actually think the Raiders will beat the Bulldogs. They've been actually playing quite well, the Raiders. They'll suffocate the Bulldogs here, and the Bulldogs will absolutely hate not being able to play their free-flowing football and have Sherry down the sideline with kick out. So I think the Raiders will get it done. At the moment, sports bet $2.28. So Goosey loves his sports bet. Gamble responsibly, but yeah, I like 1 to 12 there for the Raiders. Get your questions in, guys. We'll do about 5 or so minutes worth of fan questions. I have already started a couple, so that will give us a head start. Get them in as we talk. So Shem's got a good one for you, Goosey. Got a question for you, lads, but mainly Ryan or Goosey. Thoughts on a South Island NRL team?
Honestly, I think it would be good to get some more footy for like the grassroots players up there. And honestly, like the South Island's a little bit nicer than the North, so you could bring a couple people over. But I just don't think, like with the Dolphins, how, like they brought in a couple of the quality players, but they couldn't just draw that high quality, like big player over. And I think even bringing big players in New Zealand itself is hard. So bringing it to a non-team that already has big players is just going to be difficult. But I think it would be a good idea, but I don't think it will happen.
I don't think it needs to be. Explode. It doesn't need to be South Island. I think it's another New Zealand team. Like obviously Christchurch is a very viable option in Dunedin, but Wellington I think is the viable option there. I know it's close to Auckland, but I feel like Wellington could work. We've seen their success in their build around the A-League, and if you're going to follow soccer in New Zealand, success in New Zealand, they get a bandwagon. We saw it with the Warriors last year, and obviously how they started the year with their crowd. So it's time to jump on now because we know rugby is the main sport over there. So we need to get into this now when we're announcing the next team while rugby league is still high in New Zealand. So yes, I'll be putting a second team in New Zealand. Doesn't matter where it is. They just need to make it happen as soon as they can.
So hypothetically, another team goes into New Zealand. Who do the Warriors become?
The Auckland Warriors again.
Back to Auckland?
Yeah.
How good would that be? Bring it back, heritage. Just everyone just Redcliffe Dolphins, just go to it. Just everyone just please. Shem, you know what? That's going to win the prize this week because I love that question. I thought it was a really good question. So get message to the page. You get 5 entries into that great prize that we're talking about with the Parramatta versus Storm game, the field day tickets.
Can we throw around who the other team's going to be before we get to that? Like they're obviously they're talking about bringing 2 teams in, which doesn't make sense because I want to get rid of the bye. I hate the bye. Yeah, I know, but they're talking about 2 straight away. They keep floating this PNG idea around this Perth. I hate it. I'll ask you all. We'll go around. Where would you have the other team?
Can I ask another question first? I want to ask another question first. How do you think 2 New Zealand rugby league teams is going to be accepted by New Zealanders? And by, because wasn't there some whispers going around that rugby union is telling all the youngsters and all the people coming through that if they play league, they'll never play union. And the major sponsors, the Warriors, wanted to pull out because there's too much politics around the fact that New Zealand don't want to compete with rugby league.
I think there's a good market for them to, as someone's just said, attract, as the NRL is, but from those South Pacific islands, as they already do, like your Tonga, your Samoa, your Fiji, things like that. They've got a real advantage over there as well in New Zealand to attract to that. But I don't know, rugby is a shit sport, so I don't really want to comment on it. But if I had the choice to play either, I'd be playing rugby league, that's for sure. I think any
sport that gives kids threats or any sort of strong warnings around if you decide to do something else, you will never get picked. I think probably needs have a good hard look at themselves. I think the momentum's there though in New Zealand for 2 teams, and it might encourage people to actually go back home. So a lot of the New Zealand talent is spread around the NRL. So it's going to be a nice bit of a calling card to maybe come back home and play with family. But I definitely think like the momentum is there, and New Zealand, what's sport in general, I just think they're going to get on board no matter what. So I'm all for a second New Zealand team. I'm not too keen for the Papua New Guinea. Like the PNG team just doesn't excite me. So I'd much prefer to see a second Kiwi team than a PNG team.
Yep.
I think if they're going to do it as well, it needs to be within the next, like in 2 years' time. They just need to hit it now while the iron's hot, while the game seems to be taking off more and more in New Zealand. And while it's on that upwards direction, you don't want to be introducing a new team while it's on that downward spiral. So get it while it's hot. Goose probably can answer this better than anyone because no one else follows the rugby game. But from what I've heard, rugby league's bigger than it's ever been in New Zealand. Like, it's actually starting to make back pages instead of rugby. There's a lot more people talking about it over there than ever before. So it just feels like, to me, it is almost the perfect time to do it, but they need to do it soon.
What are they going to be called?
The New Zealand team?
Yeah.
The Wellington Wedgetails.
I was about to say, because all the cool names
Why
are taken by the
Wellington?
rugby team, surely. So
What about the Christchurch Earthquakes? No? Still too soon.
That's actually good,
why
though.
didn't you
That's
say the
actually good.
Quakers? The Christchurch Quakers.
no.
That would have been cool, you dickhead.
Well, North Sydney Bears, their board has come out and said, we're happy to join up with anyone. So
Bring back the
they're
Bears.
happy to be the Perth Bears, maybe the Wellington Bears. So you never know. North Sydney has still got a very strong base, heaps of
And
members.
they have a
It's a
fantastic
foundation
kit
club.
that would go really well with New Zealand culture.
So you never know.
Yeah.
Wellington Bears.
I like my second team. I think Central Queensland. Obviously, during COVID, there's a lot of games played up there, so I'd go the Central Queensland, based out of Rocky or Mackay or wherever, and put the Bears to it. And the thing is, there's got to be a couple of games played out of North Sydney Oval. Anything the Bears do needs to be some games played out of North Sydney Oval because you need that tradition, obviously, there. Even if it's a trial game, another game like the Bulldogs done going back to Belmore. Yeah, that's my thoughts around. I don't like Perth. We've failed there before. I don't know why we're going back to areas we've failed. And PNG, although it's a great thought with the way the game's growing there, it's a logistical nightmare. Over to you, Goosey. Your thoughts?
It'll be
Honestly, just imagine the rivalry. As like Joshua was saying before, imagine like the Warriors versus, I don't know, Christchurch Crackers or
Quakers.
something. Yeah, something like that. You know what I mean? Like, like imagine that game, like the crowd, like the money they'll bring in, like that, like for New Zealand, that would just build it up. Because now, like if you go to Union, like we all know Union's a better sport. Australia suck in Union, so the only good games are against New Zealand versus New Zealand, and those.
What's
Sorry, I
Union?
muted him, guys. He said
Did you
rugby
mute
is
him?
the
Yeah,
better
good.
sport. So
I
you
don't
can-
we have a blue team. We have a blue team that plays rugby.
No one,
all
no one,
right.
no one. We all stopped caring about rugby in 2003, Goosey. All right, no one cares.
Yeah, but that's just because Australian rugby sucks and they don't know how to
Matt
run it, just like the
Giddo.
Parramatta Eels.
Matt Rogers.
Once again, we know everything you're saying is the truth. We can't argue.
Yes.
Look,
Look,
just
you
saying,
bring it up.
that's-
You mentioned Parramatta. There's a question here, and
Johnny Wilkinson.
Shem was nice enough to. He lives over in New Zealand, so he can't make it. So he said the next best option. Chris, I'll give it to you. So just message the page afterwards. You'll go into the draw for the 5 bonus entries for that giveaway for that Parramatta Storm game in the.
I thought you said flights included, didn't you? Flights included? Isn't that what you said?
Flights, yeah, no. Jason, ex-advisor, flights included.
Jeez, asking a lot.
No,
Yeah, no,
they're not.
they're not. It's not. They're not included. So, Jason, let's try and be quick. So we've got to get out of here. Has the Parramatta board confirmed anything in regards to really trying to find a fair dinkum coach, or Brad staying there for another 3 years?
Well, Brad just rejected the most recent offer. The board has just changed. There's 2 new board members. They say there's no interest in Wayne Bennett whatsoever. So with all of that, I have absolutely no idea what's going on. But that's what's currently happened. 2 new board members. Wayne Bennett is not being pursued, and Brad Arthur has rejected a deal.
Sounds like a Parramatta board meeting. No idea what's going on. All I'd like to answer on this one is I will not make any comments about the Parramatta Eels. I love the Parramatta Eels. Go Para.
I don't even want to go there, so
Smells like a wooden
I'm
spoon
glad
in back.
Jason.
I'm here to talk about
Hey,
the Atlanta Falcons. I love the
last one.
Atlanta Falcons.
Bit of fun here. Basically, what's our junior clubs? Who have we played for? Go around here in a bit of a circle. So, Goosey, I'll let you start first. Tell everyone who you've played for, where you've been. You're obviously a big touch footy player, any league.
Nah, never touched that sportive league, but I used to play union at East Rugby Union and South Rugby Union, and then you know, a little bit of TRL at Logan. Shots out to Ads. We all love you, Ads. I got to show some love to Beanley as well. That's where I started, and then you know, OzTag straight out to Wavell Heights. You know, that's just where it's at. Gold medal, baby. You know, that's just how it is. And actually, Joel was my mentor playing TRL, so I got to show him a lot of love. So I got that gold medal because of him.
Basically, captain coach on the field and just led by example and got us the dub. So it's all good. Thanks for the little shout out, bro. But
I got you.
hey, I used to be good. Now I've packed on about 25 kilos and lost it all. Jason, you got any junior clubs? For any? It doesn't have to be leagues, it's another sport.
Soccer, Ramsgate RSL Junior. Cricket, Ramsgate RSL. And League, Uncle Scott's.
Ooh, look out. Jez?
Soccer was the Barnsley Bulldogs. Go the Bulldogs. Cricket was Glendale Edgeworth. They are a defunct club now. And then I played
Paying you too much.
one half game of rugby league. I went to a training session with Adam at the Pickers, and he told two blokes to fold me, and I didn't go back because I didn't like getting tackled. Loved all the kicking and the directional stuff. I was good at that, but then I got tackled and went, "Nah, that sucks."
You went and watched the game on the weekend, and you saw what happened. There was about 7.
Yeah, there was a fight, and I was like, "Nah, that's stupid. I'm not doing that." Yeah,
I had to get him ready. For it.
Adam,
he turned up to the one defensive session we did all year. Yeah, I'm a East Maitland Griffins junior. Then went to Morpeth Bulls, Maitland Pickers, and then went back and retired, I think, at the East Maitland Griffins. And obviously OzTag and basketball and cricket and soccer.
Up OzTag.
Yeah, I went to a World Cup as well.
junior
represented the Great Britain. No, he didn't say that. He said, "Where have you played for?" Look, have some of us played
junior clubs?
No, we weren't. So I don't want to wish you cricket club. I've been to more clubs than Slim Dusty.
I was about to say, you want me to keep going?
And yeah, World Cup for the Great Britain Exiles, which no one will argue because look at me.
Yeah.
Soccer for me, I was Doonside Hawks, bit of a Dooney boy when I was growing up, and then footy was when I moved down to the far south coast. The Maria Sharks. I only played 1 year, and everyone was about triple my size. Shat myself, not going back. So that was a quick career cut short. So very happy to be part of that. But that is basically all we've got time for, guys. Thank you for tuning in. It's been a huge show. I loved being part of it all with everyone. The pre-drinks for Magic Round. Again, shout out to the Women Origin game tomorrow night. Make sure you're watching it. Free to air. And for actually, I think it's only free to air tomorrow night. So 7:30, I believe, kickoff is Suncorp Stadium. Get there if you can. If not, watch it on your big screens. A couple of cold ones as well. Goosey, thanks for jumping on. You'll see him a lot more, guys. We'll do a lot more content with him. But he debuted. He had a tough start. That was like we had a few big towering Burton bombs coming his way that he couldn't catch any of them. But then you've really regrouped. You've come back out of the second half and you've killed it.
Yeah, just had to finish strong. You know what I mean?
Looks like he's ready to DJ as well with those headphones.
He's ready to log on for a Fortnite session. That's for sure.
Yeah, that's what it's more like. I'll play some video games straight after this one.
Jason, you've all seen him by now as well. I've done already a couple of podcasts, one grilling Parramatta, and then the next one we did the start of the LOI and Order, LOI and Order. Good to have you on. Good to have you on the live Wednesday show. Hope you got through it okay.
Yeah, thanks for my debut. And don't forget, everyone, like Advisory on Facebook, like Advisory on Instagram, and subscribe to the League of Inches on YouTube in the running for Eels versus Melbourne Field Club 2 tickets. Joining me in all the fun, and it's a great experience, all drinks and food included, and it's literally the same level as the field. It's an inner sanctum experience. So it's great. Good luck to everyone that wants to get into it, and that's what you got to do.
Yeah, and make sure you tag someone in the post as well, and just say done, so that make sure we tick you off the list as well, and your entries are in. And shout out again to Chris, who won the extra 5 votes or entries into that. Jez, Adam, the usual
One more?
boys. It's
One more?
Oh,
Did
hang
you
on
say
here.
one more?
One more. One more.
I'm out. I'm out. It's too far to go to change. I'm out.
That would have
I'll
been.
save it.
that
I'll
would have been
save it
good.
for the weekend.
Jez, go to you first. It's been another one. What did you make of the debutants? Did they get through okay?
Much like every sort of... actually, no. In comparison to the recent debutants that we've been seeing in the NRL, they started off flying. These guys, they came home with wet sails. It was a bit dodgy at the start. There's a couple of gunshots in the background, some microphones not working, sirens going off galore. So some audio issues. They look fantastic, which is great. That's a start. But no, came home with wet sail. Good to have some extras on here, as always, for the Magic Round show.
That's Queensland for you.
New
Those
faces,
gunshots.
we're getting bigger and better, guys. So thank you all for supporting. Adam, the last one I'll say to everyone, what we're going to do, we were speaking about this off air before everyone actually got on. We're going to have a bit of a game this weekend. So if you are an opposition fan, what me and Adam are going to do, we want to set ourselves a challenge. We want to get a selfie with one person from every team, and we're going to put up to our stories. We'll tag and stuff. Have a bit of fun with it. We've got to make sure we tick every team off the list throughout the weekend.
Can we add St. George? Can we add St. George to make it a challenge? Because obviously there'll be one Dragon jersey there for sure.
Yeah,
we've got to find one.
All
Dragon
17 clubs.
I think the most challenging thing is going to be finding a Gold Coast Titans fan. Like, let's be honest, we're really going to struggle there.
Well, you're the main. You're going to be the main one. Everyone's going to be listening to your voice.
That's true.
But it's just up the road. Surely they'll be there.
They'll be there. They'll be there.
Gotta be.
Thank you, guys. Thank you for listening. Again, you know all the jazz by now. Make sure you hit the subscribe, like the page, all that jazz. We will check. We'll catch you not for the Sunday show because obviously we'll be Magic Round still, probably trying to find our way home or at a pub waiting for the traffic to die down. But we'll have a chat. We'll organise something. Maybe we'll come on for a Monday review show of Magic Round and probably hear me and Adam voiceless, trying to just mumble our way through a show. Good night. Enjoy. Thank you for listening.
Up the wires.